Welcome everyone, I'm Legionnaire. Welcome to the video. We're talking about The Last Guardian today. Recently finished it on the Twitch, and I wanted to do a little video discussion on it. It's from a little team who used to make games for Sony and is no longer around. They made some pretty niche games, but amongst them you might remember Shadow of the Colossus. These guys made some very unique games for their time, and this was their last one. So after just recently finishing it, I definitely wanted to do a little video talking about it. So without further ado, let's get into The Last Guardian. Last Guardian. What a beautiful game this was. I enjoyed my time playing this game. It's not the most exciting game, but it's more about the adventure, the journey, right? You play as this kid separated from his village. He wakes up next to what I can only call a bird dog, whose name is Trico. The kid calls him Trico in the game, right? You wake up next to this big dog, this big bird dog thing, and he starts trying to, you're supposed to play with it, see if you can get it to like you. First thing is the dog is very aggressive towards you, doesn't know who you are, and neither of them know how they got to this place. He just knows that the kid just knows that he was taken away from his village, and he woke up here below with this bird dog. So, adventures ensue. You start feeding this bird dog these barrels of light. These are kind of like food for the bird dog. It's not really explained, but this is how it gets its energy. And every so often in the game, he will stop because he needs a barrel to continue. After you feed the dog a few barrels, he finally starts doing what you ask him to do. Very cute thing. It's nice. It's a good relationship that you grow with the bird dog as you traverse the land with these puzzles. The architecture is very nice. I like that it gave me an old sanctuary type, sort of like a fallen empire kind of thing where maybe people used to live here, but it was long ago, Throughout the game, you find yourself in various situations where you can help the bird dog or the bird dog can help you. You teach the dog commands, the bird dog, you teach him commands and he starts doing things for you. You can tell it to ram into a wall, you can tell it to catch you, you can tell it to grab onto a chain or something like that. And well, like I said, this game isn't really the most exciting thing. I really liked the slowed down aspect where you can just take your time and look around, figure out what you need to do. There wasn't any shining ledges or anything like that. I think some of the ledges had a certain cobblestone or certain cloth on them so that you can be indicated that that's what you're supposed to grab. You do have to climb along ledges as you climb this huge fortress that you're stuck in with the bird dog. The whole game you're trying to get out of this place with the bird dog, and slowly you build the relationship where the bird dog needs you, you need the bird dog, and it becomes a very loving relationship towards the end of the game. Eventually you see certain things that start to lead to or hint at what happened. Every time you get towards this green energy that's in this little like this big circle, every time the bird dog gets in there, he freaks out because it's emitting this green wave. And every time this happened, I didn't understand it. Every time it happened, I kind of just said, oh, what am I supposed to do? What do I do? What do I do? And we sort of just survived, You do have enemies in this game. You can't attack as the kid. Only the bird dog can attack. That's one of the unique aspects of the game, is whenever you come across these statues that come to life with the aforementioned green energy, they start chasing you. They start trying to grab you and take you through these dark doors, these green doors that are around. And to get away from them, you had to keep pressing the buttons on the controller like a bunch of times, like all the buttons pretty much, and then he'll let you go and you can try and run away. But the goal is to get yourself somewhere where the bird dog will help you. Sometimes you need to do clear an obstacle so that the bird dog can get through. Sometimes you need to hurry up and open a gate. That actually leads to most of the puzzles in this game. Most of the puzzles are supposed to result in you getting both you and the bird dog to a location. You go through a gate, you go through a bridge. Very breathtaking scenery, I think, in this game. I really liked looking at the world as you're climbing these towers. Much more towards the later half of the game, you'll start climbing on top of the dog and he will jump from tower to tower or huge statue to huge statue until you come across an obstacle. Sometimes you have to jump off, you have to go through these chains and maybe open a door for him or open a drawbridge, like lower a bridge so that the dog can come through. And every so often you would run across a second bird dog. I call him Evil Bird Dog. He had these red eyes, armor on his face and everything. And every time you came across him, he tried to kill you. Tried to kill you and the bird dog. Well, our bird dog. So it was a real mystery, especially in the first half when you had little glimpses of a second bird dog. You know, it made you question what's going on. What is this, like a cage for them? You know, one of the only things the bird dog is afraid of is these mirrors that have colorful glass on them. And whenever you come across them, you have to physically get rid of it, like push it off a ledge or run into an enemy who has a shield designed like that to block the dog. So this place was very much made with the bird dogs in mind. This could be their nest, this could be where they hold home at, but they fly. You know, we could see them flying sometimes. So it was all a very interesting mystery, I think. But it wasn't all perfect either. This game could be very frustrating when you're trying to get the bird dog to do something, especially once you get towards past the easy stuff in the first half. You have to start commanding the dog to do things, and much like a normal dog, he doesn't always listen. Sometimes he just decides he's mad and you have to pet the dog so that he calms down. Sometimes you have to find a barrel. You could tell how the bird dog is feeling by the emotion of his eyes. Color of his eyes change. When there's an enemy nearby and the dog is threatened, his eyes turn like pinkish red. When there's like a barrel nearby, it turns green, you know? The color of greed. He wants the barrel. He wants to eat it. So he won't do anything until you get him that barrel. He demands the barrel. And you must find it for him and carry it all the way over to him. Sometimes multiple ones, like 4 or 5. In fact, that's how the game starts. You gotta give him like 5 barrels before he even starts moving. Sometimes you try to get the dog to jump from place to place and he decides he wants to jump back to the place you started at, and you try to get him to turn around, and there wasn't really an explanation on the commands. You just kind of feel it out. You know, there was one button to try and make him grab something and hit something, but it wasn't always working. So that was pretty much the most frustrating thing in the game. That was probably the only frustrating thing in the game, because other than that, the game is kind of a breeze. You know, you run through, whenever you run into enemies, you got to run away from them. There's not much to say there. The language in the game is some random language. It has subtitles and it has written words, but not regular words, like, you know, their own words. I don't know if it was something made for the game or some kind of ancient dialect that was taken and transformed for the game, but I really liked learning little tidbits about the story. Towards the second half, things really start to ramp up as you get to the top of the tower and things start to derail you a little bit, and you have to find your way around these huge gates, these huge doors, or take out one of those colorful shield things that were blocking the way for the bird dog to go because he's afraid of them. And you start to come across large chunks of enemies, and you even see the evil bird dog just a little bit more. All leading up to the climax when you get to the top of the tower, the top of the citadel place that you're at, what have you. And once you reach the very top, that's kind of where the game starts throwing, like, you have a really cool scene where Bird Dog fights the evil Bird Dog. Best scene in the game, for sure. One of my favorites. Because as the kid, you're supposed to run around and you have to try to find ways to distract the evil bird dog to help our dog because he's getting his neck chewed the whole time. So that was really one of my standout scenes, I think, in the game. The music, there wasn't really much music, you know. There was traversal little wisps of music that would come by once you're walking around. Only when you reach like heavy story beats did it really try to give you some kind of symphonic feeling that would attach you to the game, especially towards the end. But would I recommend this game? You know, it depends on the person, really. If you're looking for something that's much more of a calm playthrough, that's not, you know, guns all over the place in your face, combat all the time, something where you can just traverse and get attached to this bird dog. If you're looking for something that's a little more smaller scale, this you might enjoy if you catch it on sale, I think. If you catch it on sale, it's a pretty good buy for a quick, I don't know, 10-ish hour playthrough of something that, you know, is unique and will probably not be seen ever again. Other than in the indie space. I think indie games is where these kind of games have gone. You see a lot of smaller scale indie games sometimes take, you know, like not really a combat stance, but just a world that you can traverse. And it's good to see that that's where this lives on. But this is unique, being the last Team Ico game. And if you're a fan of their other games, Ico or Shadow of the Colossus, then you'll understand this game a lot more. And you might actually enjoy it more. But for those who are watching this, you know, just trying to figure out, you know, is this game even worth it? What kind of game is it? Then I would say watch a few videos, watch this video, see if you like this video. And if you liked what you saw in this video, then definitely check it out. You know, it's not a combat heavy game. There's not a lot to it. You traverse with the bird dog and you find ways to climb towers and get through obstacles. I enjoyed my time with the game, but I would be lying if I didn't say that this wasn't a remarkable experience. It was an interesting experience to go through Team Icos' last game, and that's what I wanted to do. I still got to go through their other games. I played Ico, but I never played Shadow Colossus, and I really want to, because that's the one that everybody loves. So, did you play The Last Guardian back when it came out? I think this came out in like 2017. This was just off the top of my head, guys. I wanted to make a little video talking about the game. You know, whenever I finish a game on stream, I do want to make a small video of just me talking about it, if I recommend it or not, if I liked it, if I didn't like it. Also, check out the Legion's archives, where I have started uploading playthroughs of my games. I got Fallout 3 going on there. I got Ghost Runner, which I also just finished recently. So check that out, links below, if you just want to see some of my playthroughs that are in nice little 30-minute chunks. But that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you for watching this short video of my thoughts on The Last Guardian. Let me know if you enjoyed the game when it came out. Let me know if you enjoyed Team Ico games. And if you know what they've been up to, let me know below as well. I'm curious. Hit that like button, subscribe, because I'm trying to put out more videos. I'd appreciate it. And we're live Sunday to Wednesday on the streams. Thank you for watching. Good night.